I turned the tables and asked to see Carl's credentials. He handed them over.
Well, tough luck, Carl. 5 minutes earlier, you would have landed yourself a pretty good collar.
It's all right.
While talking, I gathered up the printer and checks and asked Carl to watch the scene for me. Then I just walked out of the room. I didn't even take my wallet. At this point, Carl thought to himself that after all this time chasing me, he'd finally caught this master con man. He finally relaxed, sat down on the bed, and even started laughing. But as he laughed, he felt something wasn't quite right. So he opened the wallet to check. What he saw left him stunned. Inside were nothing but ads for various products, salads, desserts, and the like. He realized he'd been played, but it was too late. I was long gone. And that's how the first round of cat and mouse ended, with my complete victory. After this incident, I got cocky. I dressed myself up like James Bond, drove around in a fancy car, and picked up down on their luck models at hotels. On Christmas Eve, I called Carl to taunt him, claiming I was in room 3113 at a hotel and daring him to come catch me. Carl had been fooled once already, so naturally he didn't believe me, but he seemed to see right through my psychology.
You didn't call just to apologize, did you?
What do you mean?
You have no one else to call.
Oh. Carl had hit a nerve. Because after I'd gotten money, I'd gone back home once. I thought my parents' divorce was just about money. Suddenly, because after I'd gotten back together, wanting to return to that perfect life and find the warmth of home again. But reality had changed beyond recognition. Mom had remarried, and Dad had become someone barred from spending due to unpaid debts. In the end, I discovered that money still couldn't solve my problems. Christmas, which should have been a family reunion, I had to spend alone. Combined with Carl's taunts, I stormed out in anger. And the room number happened to be 3113. Obviously, I'd calculated that the agent wouldn't come. On Carl's end, he started investigating the name Barry Allen, and after much searching learned it was the Flash's name. Carl suddenly realized that the con artist he was chasing was likely just a kid who loved comic books. Following this lead, he investigated all the runaway teenagers in New York and eventually narrowed it down to me. But Carl never could have imagined that this genius scammer was only 17 years old. The agent told my mother I was suspected of forging checks. My protective mother immediately decided to pay back all the money for me, but she underestimated my capabilities.
Just tell me how much yours and I'll pay you back.
So far, it's about $1.3 million.
I realized my whereabouts had likely been exposed, so by forging a Harvard degree, I successfully landed a job as an attending physician and hooked up with a nurse. When I learned my girlfriend's father was a well-known local attorney, I proposed marriage and successfully married into the family.